Okay.
Okay, thank you. Excuse me. We'll get started now. This is the Town of Winchester Zoning Board of Appeals regular meeting for Tuesday, July 28th, 2020, convening at 7:07 p.m. On the Zoom platform. Let the record show that Chair Philip Allen, board members Hal Wilkes, John Pollock, Aubrey English are present, and John Mazzucato is having connection problems. So in his stead, we will seat alternate Paul Marino for this hearing. So just to explain our procedure, we call each application in order on the agenda. It'll be brief tonight. We have the applicant will have the opportunity to present their application and anything they want to share with the board about the project. The board will have an opportunity to ask questions of the applicant, and at the end of all of that questioning, if there is any, we open the floor to anyone from the public who may be interested in speaking to the application. When public comment on the application is completed, it comes back to the applicant who gets the last word. Then we close the hearing. The board will discuss the application if necessary, and we vote. To be approved, an application has to have 4 affirmative votes, and as opposed to a simple majority, as the case at some boards. Luckily, we have our alternate here tonight, so you have a full quorum for the meeting, and you don't have to take the chance of getting a unanimous ruling.
Could you do that?
I'm sorry? Okay, I guess. So, that's our procedure. On public hearing, on public hearing ZBA number 20-5247, special exception at 131 West Bakefield Boulevard that was continued from last month. The applicant has requested another continuance to our August meeting. So I am making a motion that we continue application ZBA number 20-5247 to our August meeting. May I have a second?
I second it.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good.
Phil,
So, yes.
Phil, John Mazzucato looks like he's here.
Okay.
Yep, there he is.
Hi, John. So now that John's fixed his connection problems, we will unseat Mr. Marino.
I don't think John's got audio though, Philip.
Oh,
It said it didn't connect audio.
What? John, can you confirm that you can hear? John Mazzucato? I can see from my, yep, there he is.
Got it now.
okay.
Let me-
Okay.
I'm
You
gonna
can
give him a cue to unmute. And there
Hello,
he is.
John. You can hear us all now?
Yes.
Okay.
How's that?
All
Is that
right.
good?
So since you're here and we haven't started the next application, we will seat you as a regular member of the board for hearing the next application. We continued application ZBA 20-5247. So, ZBA, calling now ZBA application 20-5248, variance for 406 East Wakefield Boulevard. The applicant Blue Lake Properties and John Milanese for a variance for existing structures and variance from a variety of zoning regulations. Mr. Milanese, would you like to walk us through your application? And if you're not actually talking right now, if you could mute, it would help. We're getting background noise from somewhere.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. I have a very old house out on the end of Cary Point, and we are permitting a deck that was there when I purchased the house. I upgraded a patio next to it, and I've sent pictures of that. And 2 platforms, I believe, down by the water. One was there, one I did add that I didn't know I needed to get a permit for, but hopefully we can keep it or adjust it to make it work. Pam, did you get the last 2 pictures I just sent you of the upper deck and the upper patio?
Yep, and I'm gonna open them in my email because I think they're clear. So you let me know if you're ready. I'll share my screen now.
Okay. Well, it's all on the map that I gave you there. There's pictures of it, but that's basically it. That deck, if you can see that picture, that one that's connected to the house, that's been there since I bought it. All I did to that deck was it actually came out another probably 8 feet longer towards the lake. And when I thought it was unusually big, so when I bought the house, I cut off the 8 feet that went out more towards the lake. But I also sent Pam a picture from like probably 1990 or late 80s. And in the background, you can see that deck was there. But it was never on the map. My map was so old, it's never been updated in all these years. So I'm trying to update the map and get it all up to, spec and code. So I know it's a bad picture, but I found this in the house. You can see kind of a chair, like a little iron chair out on the deck there. Past it, there's 2 lawn chairs that are past it, white lawn chairs that are sitting out on that deck. Even though that's not on my map is probably, the original map was probably, who knows how many years old, 30, 40, 50 years old. I don't know how old it was. But we want to get everything up to code. So when I sell the house, everything is there and the new owner, it's all taken care of the way it should be. That's basically it, I think, for the upper. If you want to go to that second picture, Pam, of the stone patio, maybe, if you can.
One second. Are you talking about pictures that were emailed today or?
Yeah, the one that was emailed with the deck picture, there should have been another one with that today. Yeah, it was along with that one.
This?
Yeah, there you go. So when I bought this house, there was kind of like a broken up attempt at a patio there. It was all trash. We cleaned it all up. The first thing I did was I actually did put this stone patio in. I got rid of the old one, but the place was there for it, but it's so far up from the lake, I had no idea that I would have to permit that. So I did that like 7 years ago or something. And then there's one more picture with that, Pam, that shows the sliders on the other side. If you can do it. Yeah. So there was something, when you came out of those doors, there was always something there, but it was not as nice as it is now, obviously. So this is what I'm trying to permit, that, and then there's 2 platforms down below, I believe, Pam, that I'm trying to do.
Yes, yep.
Do we have any photographs of those platforms?
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Thank you.
I believe that would just be from the old pictures I sent you, Pam. Just picture 1 probably shows them both.
Sure, yep. Just if everyone would give me 1 minute.
Yeah. So the one on the left is basically just, that was there, the one on the left where the chairs are. That's just boards laid on the ground and they're screwed into 4x4s that are just laying there. But the one on the right, that seawall, you can see the waves coming in. They constantly go over the top of that seawall and it's as slippery as could be on top of that seawall. So in one weekend, a couple of years ago, I dropped that platform on top of the wall so that I had somebody slip off that wall. So I put that on there so that I would not have that happen again. So hopefully I can keep that one because that's nice for, just nice for, we can use the water and nobody slips off the slippery, slimy top of that wall. If I can't, I have to come up with an alternate plan, but that's so simple. It'd be nice to keep that on there.
This is where I can.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's upside down. It's not, it's,
I'm slightly flexible.
How is that one affixed to the wall?
so basically, yeah, so if you can figure that out, obviously the grassy side.
yeah, I'm gonna go to those other ones because then they're scanned right.
Okay. That's a tough one.
Yep.
So basically it's a square. It's a square of 6x6 landscape ties. Yeah, they're a little fuzzy, but it's a square of, yeah, that's good. It's a square of 6x6 landscape ties. And along this back wall near the grass, I drilled through the top of the landscape ties and hammered in like 1/2-inch rebar down into the ground. And then the other end is just laying on the wall all along the front and the back. Underneath it is just gravel. In the center of it, I have 2x2. I have 2 buckets that are. I put cement in them, and they push up against the top of it in a couple spots. But I don't even think it even needs that because it's such a small distance, and the 6x6s are kind of overkill. That's a good one. That's perfect. So this one just gets you up off the slimy wall. So I would like to keep that one if I can. But if there's some reason why I can't have a wooden, if it can't be wood for some reason, I can change those tops to some sort of composite material too. I just don't know what the, what the regulations are for the material. That's basically it. Behind, go ahead.
Is the as what's described as the block patio that's looks like 9 by 12 foot?
I was just gonna say behind this, there was a brick patio there. I don't know if we have. Yeah, so that picture right there, there was a brick patio with all these old bricks laying down on top of the sand. I changed it over and I bought at Home Depot some blocks, some of the cement blocks, and laid them down, pulled the bricks out. I kept some of them in the back, but I put the cement block ones on top.
But is that block patio also included in this variance application? I wasn't entirely clear about that.
I don't know, is it included in this one, Pam? I'm
Oh,
not sure.
yes, I'm sorry. Yes, 12 by 9 block patio. Never mind. It is here in the application.
Yeah. I don't know if that first picture, that number one picture, has a better view of that or not.
Yeah, I'm just locating the survey to pull that up for them to see.
This house was so overgrown and so much stuff over it, and it was never upkept. There was just bags of trash down there. There's all sorts of stuff. As we started cleaning up the property and pulling stuff away, that's when we discovered, yeah, here we go, there you go. So there was like a brick thing down there that was underneath all the leaves and all the weeds. And we sort of lived with that for a year or two, but then it really just took me one weekend to throw those blocks down on top instead of the bricks. And it's another 6x6 ties around the outside of it just to kind of keep it all conformed, to keep it together.
I'm just uploading the survey so that can be looked at.
Okay.
Takes a minute. So, Mr. Milanese, how long have you lived in the house?
Since 14.
14 years?
No, 2014.
Oh, thank you.
Phil,
Yes.
I'm still having problems with these pictures. For some reason, they don't seem to appear on my iPad.
Um,
And if you look right now, do you see it?
No.
I don't know the iPad to be able to guide you,
Yes.
but perhaps if you, there may be a way to change the view.
All right.
The bear outside. The dog's going crazy over a bear.
Paul, do you have a recommendation for John as far as working with the iPad and being able to see the shared screen?
I'm surprised he can't see it when
Me too.
she's sharing it because, I mean, I'm on a laptop, so I don't have the same controls. I could log on with my iPad. Hang on a sec. Hey, Pam, I'm going to log on if you want to let me in with the. I'll see if I can look at the controls.
Thank you.
That's funny. The minute I got on, I saw it. So- John,
Yes.
what are you seeing?
I'm barely seeing nothing. I'm not seeing anybody live. I just basically have a voice. Is
I
there-
do,
would, I think what my suggestion would be is to log out and log back in.
Yes. All right, let me try that. Okay, now it seems to be working.
Hi,
Even better.
Yes.
Okay. We didn't have to take an adjournment.
No,
Okay.
we didn't. Okay, for some reason, I don't know what it was. All right.
So what's on the screen right now is, I believe, the 9 by 12 foot brick patio that's in the application,
Mhm.
shown there on the plan.
It, right here. And the other platform that he had been showing is right here. So what he's seeking a variance for tonight is this wooden platform, that black patio, this stone patio, and then Mark, is this deck here only a special exception, or is that a variance too?
That's gonna be the special exception, but that other stone patio meets the regulations. It's the 2 wooden patios by the water.
It
There's one
wasn't,
side of that stairwell, that wooden platform right there, and then the other one, and that black patio. That's
I
what
think
he's going for a variance for.
it's this one and this one, right? No, that one was pre-existing, no?
We have no proof it was,
Um,
so he's going for, he's got that, he's basically going for lot coverage and everything, so.
Hey, Mark, anything that's placed on the ground, like for example, the first deck that he has is on the grass with just some 4x4 posts underneath it to screw it together into a platform, if you will. Does that qualify as a structure that needs approval, or is it just,
Anything placed on the ground. So
Okay.
it's basically considered like a patio, a deck, stuff like that, even though it's just sitting on the ground. Even if it was pervious, it'd have to, because it's within 20 feet of the lake, it has to get the variances.
So what we're talking about here is work that's already been done, right? I mean,
Right, it's been done probably for years and some of it.
yeah, never got permits, just did it.
Correct.
Is the wooden structure considered pervious? I would think. The one he put over existing thing?
According to our regulations, it is, because decks any decks are considered pervious,
Yeah, yeah.
as long as there's grass underneath them.
And there is grass underneath it?
Or
Pervious.
it just says pervious, as long as it's not the solid underneath it, so.
What is under it?
Probably
Was there
dirt.
a pre-existing thing under there?
And there's dirt under it.
What's that?
It's on dirt. There's dirt under it.
Where, now you had mentioned something about buckets. What's that all about?
That's the one that goes out, the other one on the other side, the one that I put in. So in the center of it, there's gravel. So the center would be hollow, kind of like, it's on the wall and it's on the grass on one side, it's on the wall, and the other, it's hollow in the middle. So I put sort of a I put sort of a bucket with cement in it, like a pier almost, but it's just holding the deck up in the center.
You don't have any pictures from the water though, huh? So that deck right there has buckets under it holding it up or something?
No, just in the center. I think there's 3 in the center. I probably didn't even need to do them just for overkill though. I just put it in there so there'd be no, nothing in the center when you stepped on it where it would bend
Yeah, it's
down.
not gonna sag.
It's probably overkill, but the 6x6 all around the outside edges are overkill. That enough, I think, is enough to hold the thing up, but it gets you up 6 inches higher than the wall, so it gets you over when those waves come in. They don't go onto the deck and get that slippery too. Hey, just so you know, like I had a lake house in another state, and the rules there were from the wall out. Anything that went out into the water, you have to get a permit. So when I bought this house, I really didn't know all these couple little things that I did that I would have to get a permit. It's much easier for me to get the permit first than to have to do this after. I got all the permits for working on the house, doing the electrical, doing the drywall, the plumbing when we did it in 2014. But I really didn't know that landscape stuff like that I would have to do, and I do it all myself. So I don't. It's not like I'm hiring contractors
Yeah.
come in and do all this stuff.
Is that out over the water?
Is the one that I put on?
The one I just saw there. It
Yeah,
looks like,
maybe an inch.
oh,
Just to get you
okay,
past-
well,
just to get you past
that
the
doesn't
rock.
count.
No, just an inch to get past the rock in case somebody slipped off, they don't hit the rock.
Yeah.
Any further questions from anyone on the board?
So my question is, the only hardship you have is you've done the work without permits. And now you're trying to sell the house and you need permits in order to sell it without tearing the stuff out.
Even if I wasn't selling it, I still would like to, do what's right and get all the permits for everything, get it all updated. If I want to do a dock out in front of it, my maps are so old, it doesn't count anymore. So I need all that stuff,
Do you have a dock application pending?
We have a dock application pending for the person that wants to buy the house. They want to make sure that they can get a dock.
I understand. Thank you.
So, yeah.
Any further questions?
I just had one more question. So, John mentioned that the reason he wanted to have these constructions because he thought that the rocks were slippery, and now he has, I guess, I would imagine he has wood over it, and I'm just wondering why the wood isn't slippery either. That would be my question.
Because the rocks, if you were to go down there, the rocks grow algae and moss and like a layer of slime on it.
Right.
Because that wooden platform is a little higher, it never gets water on it, and it just doesn't grow algae like the rocks do.
Okay.
Like the rocks on the other side, I'm constantly telling people, don't step on those because they're so slippery, you'll slip right off of them. Even
Yes.
if I scrub them with a scrubber, there's really no way to get all the algae off until winter comes and then it all dries up.
The patio, is that within setbacks? The large patio?
Yeah, that is.
Yeah,
Yep.
is there anything that isn't?
What's not in the setbacks that are two wooden platforms in the, that block 9 by, that's what he's going for variances for.
Okay.
Was there anything from his neighbors? Did we get anything on that?
No, I have the certificate of mails just, and notice that the legal ad was sent out, and I haven't received any kind of phone calls or emails.
Okay.
Well, given that we obviously do not have anyone from the public here to speak to the application, you have the last words before we close the hearing, sir.
I really appreciate if you let me keep the stuff down there. It's really nice. The neighbors do love it. And whether I sell the house or not, I still want to have, it's nice. The reason we have a lakefront house is so we can have people down there to sit safely down by the water. And that allows me to do that.
Okay. Thank you. Well, with that, we will close the public hearing on ZBA application 20-5248 for a variance for 406 East Wakefield Boulevard. There is a motion to grant a special permit for application 20-5249 for a variance from section 2.g.b.ii for a lot coverage variance of 3.2% from section 2.g.d.iv.a to allow a deck or patio to be closer to the property line than the existing principal building, and from section 2.g.d.iv.b to allow a deck or patio to be closer than 20 feet from the lake shore or retaining wall for the installing of a 12 by 9 foot block patio, a 96.85 square foot wooden platform near the lake, and also a 88.45 square foot wooden platform near the lake as per the drawings submitted for the property located at 406 East Wakefield Boulevard. May we have a second?
Second.
And okay. Discussion on the motion.
Hey, Mark, I have just a general question. I'm not seated. I know I can't vote. Can I be part of this discussion or no?
I believe so.
Yes.
I don't see why not.
Mark, you were,
No, you can't. The only time you can discuss is during a public hearing.
okay. Thus the distinction.
Hey, Phil,
Yes, sir.
the, you said 5249, but the, application is for the,
5248. Oh, I'm sorry. We had the
Yeah,
wrong, we had the,
wrong one up there.
well, we had the right text, but if it maybe the wrong number referenced.
Well, the wrong number's on it.
Can you call that up?
The wrong number is on the agenda because of the fact that, we missed one last month, and so we had two with the same number, so we had to change it.
It's my
Uh-huh.
fault.
Okay, so when we get to the next one, it'll be 5250?
Correct.
Okay, all right.
My other concern, Phil, was it seems like every meeting we're having people trying to build some kind of a deck or some kind of a platform within 20 feet of the lake. And I'm a little bit concerned about the quality of the water, and our job here is to possibly protect the lake. And it seems like every month we're going to get more and more people with an application, and I just think we should consider, especially where it is out there in Cary Point and the rock foundations and the ledges out there. It's to me, I don't think it's the safest thing to do out there in that area where it's where the Narrows is and everything else like that. If it's slippery, how do you know somebody may not fall off of the new platform or whatever we have here now? And the other thing that kind of bothers me is John should have probably got some kind of a variance or some kind of a permit instead of having all of this done. And I have a little bit of a problem just blessing it as it stands now.
Any further comments?
Well, after the fact, it's always more difficult. You know,
Right.
but I didn't realize the house was being sold, so now the push is to get this done so we could sell it, you know. And anyway, I'm a little uncomfortable with it, but
Well, we don't have to permit everything. We don't have to grant the variance to every single part of this. Namely, if, you know, we can approve one or two or none. or we can approve just one of these requested variances at this time. The other stuff is coming up in the next application, so I'll try not to think about any of that. But we do have the option of saying, okay, we're okay with this, we're okay with this, we're not okay with that, or whatever. So we do have that option.
I'll just concur with everyone else. My concern is that, all this stuff has been done before the permits were granted. And I don't want this to be a continuing thing to where, people from all over, it's just going to be saying, oh, well, I didn't know about the permits. So let me just, cover my tailbone about this and then get this done. I mean, and, there's a proper procedure, then it's got to be done right.
I know, and especially if you had the building since 2014, I don't know, you must have, you had to have some idea that you have to go down to City Hall and ask for variances. I just can't believe that you didn't know anything about it.
John, you're not allowed to talk.
Okay.
There's no public comment at all, so it's only between the commission members. And you shouldn't be asking questions to the applicant.
Okay.
That was for us. We're not supposed to ask Mr. Milanese anything at this stage.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, the wooden platform that he's put, whatever you want to call it, the one by the water to raise it a little bit, doesn't, bother me too much, but perhaps that little patio there, I don't see any reason for that at all, really. But, who am I? A little brick one that he had put in.
Would anyone?
Block patio?
Yes. Would anyone care to make a motion to amend to approve any of these particular pieces?
I think we should look at it as a whole instead of dissecting everything. Because once you start dissecting everything and if you look at somebody else's application in the future, we're going to change this, we're going to change that. We have to look at it as a whole, and some thinking should have been done originally. And if John wanted to go for everything, I think we should look at it instead of just picking it apart and saying this is okay, that's okay. We're going to just be creating problems for us in the future.
Well, not really. I mean, you're not held to a, if you made a mistake or you did something that was wrong and it came up again later, you're not held to it. You can, nobody can come up and say, well, you did this.
Yes.
So. But I don't object to that idea about looking at it as a whole.
Well, we would have to propose an amendment, and I'm not really getting a strong sense that anyone wishes to do that.
That's correct.
So I would suggest at this point that we move the question and call a vote. So it's been moved and seconded for the variances for 406 East Wakefield Boulevard. All in favor? All opposed?
Aye.
Abstain? I'm sorry, you do not have your variances, sir.
So can I ask a question?
You can ask the question, but they probably, so.
Does that mean for the patios down below?
Yes.
That means the patios and the two platforms.
The patios meaning the ones down below?
Correct.
The 12 by 9 patio and the two wooden platforms is what was denied.
All right, and then the deck that's attached to the house?
That's the next,
That's the next application.
Oh, it is? Okay, I didn't know. I thought that was all part of it, because that was part of the house.
no,
Okay.
no, we can, I'm sorry it's so confusing, sir.
All right.
Very well. We will turn now to ZBA application 20-5250 for a special exception at 406 East Wakefield Boulevard. Applicant John Milanese for a special exception for a 28.6 foot by 16.8 foot by 15.6 foot by 16.8 foot deck off the westerly side of the residence at 406 East Wakefield Boulevard. So if you want to remind us, I guess, about exactly which part we were looking at that we're now talking about, which is all the stuff that's actually attached to your house, correct?
That's just the deck, yeah, the stuff that's attached to the house, yep.
Now, the stone patio we're talking about is already done, right?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, this is another,
This is for the deck in the back.
yeah, the
This
deck.
is a wooden deck we built.
No, I didn't know that. It's been there for probably since the 80s or whenever.
The stone patio that is within the setbacks and is not covered under either of these applications.
Okay,
okay,
So we're looking only at what shows up on the plan as porch
Oh,
deck.
okay,
okay.
That's the part that we're talking about right now.
okay.
I got it.
Do you want to recap the history of that piece?
That was there when I bought it. I've got a picture of it connected to the house. I just don't think they ever updated the maps back, I don't know when, in the 80s or whatever. But there's two pictures there that Pam had pulled up originally that shows it in a picture back when the house was just like a cabin that they were. It was this one here. It shows it down, you can see it out past the chairs on the bottom right, or bottom left, sorry.
Oh,
So, I mean, it's always been there. It's just never permitted way back in the day. I know that's an old picture and it's hard to see, but that was there, so.
And you had said that you had actually removed about 8 feet of the deck on the lakeward side.
Yeah, it was unusually, they made it unusually long. It went out even farther past those two lounge chairs that you can see. It went way out. So I made it more of a shape that, I pulled it in so it looks more like it should be there and it's not unusually huge. I think I cut off probably 8 feet at the end of it. Mark, I think if you look back at your applications in 2014 too, I think I pulled a permit to do the wood on top of that deck, to redo the wood on it.
Yeah,
I think there was
that's
one.
possible. Well, I know there was a deck there because the assessor's card showed a deck and
Yeah,
it was actually bigger than what he
Yeah.
had. Like I said, I think what he did was he cut it down, made it a little wider, but cut it down. Right, so the deck used to stick out from the house 28 feet, but it was only 18 feet wide. So now he went 26 feet and only, I think, 16 feet deep or whatever.
yeah. What were the widths before?
It used to be 18 feet,
Yeah,
but it used to stick out from the end of that open port, that second floor porch, it used to stick out 28 feet. And now he's going a lot less than what it is now.
it's like cut off, what, 12 feet of it?
Right, so you see right now on the survey, where it shows right there, she shows that porch. So what he did was from where the diagonal starts, it used to come out 28 feet from there, but it used to only be 18 feet from one side in. So now he made it 28'6" instead of 18 feet, but he's only coming out 16 feet.
So I think what I did was, I can't remember, but I think I just lengthened the last boards. I just lengthened them out to make it look more like a triangle rather than a square.
Pam, can you get a copy of the survey? That's what you're doing?
Oh, it was just up.
Or the assessor's card?
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. I made the other side more like a triangle. So I brought the other side over like this side was.
Hmm.
I cut off the whole end of it.
So it basically cut off that 12 by 14 foot square and made that angle on the other side to match.
Yeah.
Any questions for the applicant?
I have none.
Crash, bang, boom. So no further questions. Anything you want to wrap up with, Mr. Milanese?
No, just that, I always try to make this lot look better. That when we bought it, I don't know if anybody remembers, but this was the house that had boats in the yard with trees growing out of them, trash everywhere. The guy ran generators every summer to have electricity in the house. I've just been trying to clean it up and fix it up, so that's it.
Very well, thank you. With that, we will close the public hearing on ZBA application 20-5250 for a special exception for 406 East Wakefield Boulevard. There we go. Okay, application number 20-5250, motion to grant a special permit for application 20-5250 to build a deck on the back of the house. The dimension against the house is 28.6 feet by 16.8 feet out from the house. And the outside section that is parallel to the house is 15.6 feet per the drawing submitted for the property located at 406 East Wakefield Boulevard. I apologize for chewing that up so badly. The motion is made. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, sir. Any discussion on the motion?
So this deck is in existence now, right? From what I understand.
Has been for many, many years.
Many years, right? Okay, so it falls into sort of like the same category.
Well, this is pre 2014 at least.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay.
So, I mean, actually, he's not, we're not any closer to the property line than we were before, right?
No,
Or before we were actually closer.
probably, yeah.
Yeah, because it came out. So now it's back from the property line.
Yeah, bit less non-conforming in that respect.
Yes, yes. Well put.
Any further discussion? Then we'll call the question. All in favor of the motion signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All abstain?
Abstain.
Thank you. You have your special exception, sir.
Thanks.
All right. Moving on. There is no old business on the agenda. Everyone has had a chance to review the minutes for 23rd June 2020. Are there any corrections of fact? If none, then we will entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All. And John has to abstain because he wasn't here last time.
That's correct.
Correspondence? Anything we have to think about?
Nope.
Other business? And discussion with Mr. Melanson. In this case, we will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all, gentlemen. We'll see you next month.
Okay.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.